opinion differs. Then the other type of paper is called as opinion paper. Opinion paper in the sense you can write about, if you have any idea about how the COVID-19 is controlled, you can give the opinion in scientific journal review. Either it may get accepted or sometimes, mostly I got my papers rejected. Perspective in the sense, what will be the next step towards a specific scientific item, how it can be taken about. So those stuff is considered as perspective. Letter to editor, you can comment on the happenings. Currently, most of the things you can see the literature related to that. Then typical scientific research articles are there. This includes the proceedings published by many journals or by the conferences, so we can classify the types of publication. Then the next challenge is how to select a journal. There are plenty of journals available. So it's time for you to pick on what basis. So this is a typical challenge we are faced. Right, how you can select? If there is any clarity for you in this particular slide, I cannot see. Plenty of things are going here. Take the side score is important. In fact, no item, yes, index, 4% index, SCI, no SCIE, everything. So I become confused with this particular selection of journal. Then before that, this is what our status is. Right. So we are supposed to learn about few of the terms widely used in selection of journal for our publication. First of all, we are supposed to pick a journal which is indexed in a particular specified index class. What is index journal? That means the journal which has been gone through a rigorous review process by the journal indexers. There are plenty of indexers available. I have given a few of them. Even UGC has given list of CAD journals. Then Anna University has brought in this Annexer 1 and Annexer 2 journals. Then similarly, the indexing body like Scopus is existing. SCI, that is Science Citation Index, is available. Then the other body is Science Citation Index Expanded. Nowadays, these two are falling under Web of Science, and again now renamed as Parity Analysis. Right. So you may be knowing this is given for, the ranking is given for the journals as indexing in either it is Scopus or SCI or SCIE. Mostly in India, now they have brought in UGC index also. So whenever you are publishing, be careful to select the journal accordingly based on the indexing body, how they are referring about the title of the job. Right. Impact factor. What is that impact factor? You can see that plenty of people saying, I'm having this much of impact factor and everything. Whereas in earlier days, we never had this impact factor. For example, if I'm taking the particular subject, no way. He's a join on the subject. And of course, as it came into the picture, you, the young scientists, need to click on this also, because the competition in the world right now is depending upon the impact factor. What is the impact factor? Impact factor is again ranking, which shows about the citations of this particular year. For an example, 2021, that is divided by the citation of that particular journal in the year 2020 and then 2029. These two put together, they're dividing it the current year, that of the year 2020. Another thing is also there. Source normalized impact factor. This is again, you can see this in many of the journals right now. What this is about? Citations of the particular year divided by year 1, year 2, year 3, that is the previous year, average of 5. Then that gives SNP factor. The third one is size score. Nowadays, this is followed by the Elsevier. They have replaced the impact factor with the size score right now. What they are saying about in this pictorial depiction, you can see that it is clearly expressed as, for an example, they have given 2015 as A, and then 2020, 2013, 2014 as grouped under B. So everything put together. So 2015 these statistics. So this is how the journals are evaluated. So you can easily pick the journal based on its indexing. Then the impact factor 6 or 5 score based on that, you can pick a particular journal. Right. How to evaluate an individual? Whether you are approved by the field, then what is the evaluation criteria for evaluating an individual? Right. Here it comes. Number of citations of that particular author is called as citation. Whenever you are applying for different positions, you can see recruiters, including the government position. Nowadays, they have started asking all these things. Here, I've given my own example. What is mine for you to easily understanding. Citation in the sense, this is taken from Google Scholar. You can see citations of 1,354 as citation. Then what is my H index? H index is an author level metric which measures the productivity and citation impact of an individual scholar. In my case, I don't need the cursor. Right, if it is put up, H index, it shows it is 14. Then comes ISIN index. ISIN index, only Google is following, no other site is using this. ISIN, what is that? The number of publications which has at least 10 citations. So that is considered as an ISIN. So in my case, it is 20 papers are having ISIN index. So this is how you can evaluate an individual scientist. Here, the next body, that is Scopus. Scopus, what it says? The citation for Uday Prakash and there is an individual author is 830. The H index cited for this particular author is 11. That is all Scopus index journals citing the paper of an author. That is 11. Here we can have also 164 authors. So that particular thing you can pick it from this Scopus. So that gives an advantage how good we are, how well we are getting on with our colleagues, and how good we are accommodative to other scientists. Everything is reflected in this particular area. Right. The other thing is research gate. Again, it's an individual body. Here, see, looking at all these things, what it means, it gives you some confidence. It gives you some standing in scientific society. Just I want you to get your attention. Here you can see 42,529 reads of my art sitting in a single corner in the earth, and we are nowhere, and we are no considered as what to say, even an object, but are having an influence and impact on 42,529 scientists working in the world. So that is what the beauty of all these indexing bodies is. So make sure that your work is also visible so that it can reach plenty of people. Right. So after seeing that my condition right now, so I said that I want to take you to the travel, how I started my publication and what were the challenges I was posed. My first time recalling Professor Altaf. He is my mentor. So I've had a wonderful experience with Professor Altaf in publishing this particular paper.
Excuse me, sir.
Where he used to discuss. Yes. Mike, hello?
Mike?
Any audible, Ilya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Okay. Right. So my first paper is with Professor Altaf. My mentor, I can say that he is the man who made me introduce me into the publication site. So the first paper was published in Indian Journal of Microbiology. The second one is on Czechoslovakia mycology. Here, that is after Indian Journal, we passed on to the international one. Whereas when you are going on with the international one, they English you have of fungi, worked on this airborne thermophiles. So I picked the lacunae over there, then started working on it, then started publishing this. So you find out the lacunae in your own subject, look for the people, there is a lacunae, you start on working it so that your publication can easily be accepted. Right. Do we need to stick on to a single field? But my own experience has made, no. Also, we are vertically strong in one field. You are also supposed to diversify horizontally in different fields too. Just I'm giving my own indexing with few of the things I want to recall. You know that my pet area is aerobiology, whereas my publications are concerned. You can see that thermophilic fungal allergens in atmosphere, second allergenic thermophilic fungi, third atmospheric prevalence, fourth species in the atmosphere, aspergillus in the atmosphere, then atmospheric fungi, then atmospheric fungi in vegetable market, indoor mold spectrum in Singapore, again atmospheric thermophilic fungi in vegetable market, allergenicity and aerobiology of mesquite pollen, then even a book on atmosphere. All these papers are speaking about my field, pet field, aerobiology. Whereas, just to check my citations, totally how much I have, 5, 10, 20, 33 and only 39 citations. Also, we have published this much of papers because the people working on this particular field is the rarest of rare, so that your paper cannot be easily cited. But it cannot be taken as that the person is not having an authority on the subject. So, whereas current days publication scenario, how it is going, you are supposed to look into the different fields also. Right. So, next step what I did, during the year 2007, it has started with nanotechnology with a boom. So we started working on with that particular stuff. Microbial synthesis of silver nanoparticles by bacillus. The idea is generated by myself, but we are lacking an instrument like electron microscope and other FTIR instruments, everything by the year 2007. So there is no other go. Also, we have an idea and started an initial work to develop a bacillus to resist the sick. Now we are handicapped with instrument. So for this, what a scientist can do, they can go for a collaboration. So we went for a collaboration with the Anandan from NIT Trichy, Indran, then the Crawford and Muthupandian Ashokma from Australia. So it's a collaborative paper. This is the topmost cited one in my case, around 255 alone. Then we have worked with again silver nanoparticles. Then the third paper is also on silver nanoparticles. These are all top cited papers in my case. So switching over to the field that's made it. Right. Now, just think over the indexing. The first paper is cited by 265, second 190, third 156, fourth 135, fifth 115. All these above 100 cited papers are in the field of nanotechnology. So we have started. Also, we never leave aerobiology. Keep that in mind. We used to continue with that aerobiology. Apart from that, we have the nanotechnology as our second field, and now you can see what the citations are. Total citation in this case, it exceeds 800. Over there it is only 39, and even number of papers published was more, whereas over here only 5 papers, which contributes more than 800 citations, right? So the challenges what I have faced, just I am discussing all those things right here, so that the younger generation can have a clue. I cannot pinpoint what it is, but whatever the clue they are getting, they can easily observe it from this particular type lecture. Right. So you have interest on high societal impact. By the year 2000 November, Chennai got a haze. What? Haze in Chennai. In general, we used to get the haze by the month of January, before Pongal. But here, by the month of November itself, we faced. Then we started analyzing what's the reason. Then finally we concluded that the haze came from Delhi, the two because of the burning of villages from Punjab. So from Punjab and Haryana, the haze reaches Delhi. From Delhi, it reaches Chennai. Even people of Sri Lanka, they have reported the haze is coming from Delhi. So just think about the aerobiology, whereas this is not, sorry, it is airborne substances, but it is not biology. It is the other particles which are present in air. So we have started developing our field of interest to, apart from biologicals, we started working on nanoparticles, right? Then Ajinomoto, there was hue and cry by the year 2014. Oh, don't use Ajinomoto, don't use Ajinomoto because it is giving cancer, inducing this and that, right? What we can do with the limited source file. What we have started working with Ajinomoto, its antibacterial impact. In ResearchGate, this is the topmost grid pepper, which has more than 3,500 reads for this particular paper, whereas citation is concerned, not even one citation so far. So, but we have the satisfaction because this particular paper has reached nearly 6,500 people. Then, why the 2019 and 2020, what's happening throughout the world is pandemic, COVID, then what we thought, right, let us think over why COVID-1 wave is not much effective in India when compared with Western countries. Then we have thought about few of the factors we have given it as perspective. That is the reason behind containment of COVID spread in India. We have provided site, or this is the paper what we have published a while previous year. Currently, again, we are working with a few more papers, couple of papers related with COVID-associated mucormycosis and COVID-19 wave 2, its impact. So these two are currently we are working with. Right. Then let me move on. Interdisciplinary approach. I already said you are supposed to have a thought on horizontal science. So what we did, these are all excellently placed journals and having a high impact factor. So first, therefore, in silico evaluation of multi-species toxicity of natural compounds. We never know about bioinformatics, whereas here after reading it, we have learned bioinformatics and we have worked with that. Then finally we have got published with drug and chemical toxicology, which is having two impact factors. Then, as an aerobiologist, when I'm looking on what is the thing we are lacking that is related to equipment is concerned, we don't have an equipment to monitor 500 meters or 300 meters. Then I have discussed with the engineers, mechanical engineers in Beltec. So they came out with UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. Later, we have fixed our sampler to this UAV, started monitoring the airborne particulates at different heights. Again, this was published by even a nice article was given in Times Now TV channel, which gave us a very good recognition. Later, again, we have had a collaboration with the scientists from Korea, but this collaboration I'm not much happy because we have collaborated only for the sake of publication charges. So around $3,800 or $3,400 we are supposed to pay. We have had a collaboration from authors from Korea, then we got this paper published. Now, by 2020, 19, 20, and 21, few of the editors are asking for novelty in the paper. So I thought, this is nothing, a small modification on your paper. Just in preliminary investigation of pedestrian underpasses. See, India is a beautiful country where you can see pedestrian underpasses, whereas in all other countries, mostly these pedestrian underpasses are not similar to ours. Maybe in Singapore can have, and other US and all, they can have overbridges like many different stuff. So this is unique in nature. So we have got published in aerobiology by the year 2020, which is the field of aerobiology. Right. Helion. It is again a prestigious journal for the youngsters that wants to publish either in scientific report or Helion or few other papers similar to this. Yeah, any other question? Right. In this case, we have studied the impact of firecrackers on airborne microflora, in the sense the fungi and bacteria. What is its impact when you are celebrating Diwali during firecrackers? Right. Later, we have started working on plant pathology. So when we started working with that, we have came about Leptocytium purindae as the first report from the plant Specia populnea. Again, this is the first report. So based on these novelties, they have accepted these papers. So now you may be knowing. Just let me go back right here. Okay, why you are supposed to think differently. So find out the lacuna in your subject. Then indexing is major thing for you to get identified or peer recognition. We need a citation. So think of a good area of research, but don't your area of specialization. Without leaving, just you can expand your knowledge on the next area also. So now we have boomed our indexing even. You can see that high societal impact journals, sorry, work, not the journals, it's a work. Then, paper with interdisciplinary research, even collaboration for the sake of facility, for the sake of publication choice, for the sake of language even you can. Because plenty of times I have faced that my paper get rejected because of non-native English things. So this is what the most popular reason of me getting rejected with my publications. Non-native language, that is native speakers of English. So if you have a very good collaborator in this field, don't hesitate, go ahead with your collaboration. And then pathos with novelty. So you bring, when you're working continuously, you can bring many novelties to the science. Open access journals, there are plenty of journals are available. You might have seen that I went for collaboration because of publication charge. Whenever you're going for work, they used to charge, but the advantage is it is reaching maximum number of people. I don't know whether it is natural or just it's man-made. Right. So before me coming into ethics, let's water. Thank you. Right. Ethics. What is that? Standard of conduct for scientists in their professional endeavor. Why we need to follow that? What is the rule of the game? One is universalism, that is, which requires science be independent of race, public. What is that? That is for personal profit or personal idea to bring in that to work without interest. Organized skepticism. That is, statement should not be accepted on the word of authority. You can see this nowadays. When there is a stalwart in the subject, whenever you are raising a question against them, they cannot easily accept. So that is called as skepticism. Just thinking that they are the authority. But don't be like that. Accept whatever is coming in, right? Because always we are the learners in science. Let me move on to publication ethics. Previously, I had few slides related with scientific ethics, but as it is out of the context related to the title of the presentation, just I moved on to publication ethics. Plagiarism. Now, most of you might have already heard this, and plenty of things has made available. Even Ilayaraja has for the plagiarism chances with what is that? Maybe you can call it as copyright with the SPB, right? In written area, that is in journals or scientific publications, it is called as plagiarism in the sense stealing other words, stealing others' words, or wrongful appropriation. Nearly close imitation, you can call it as plagiarism. What is self-plagiarism? On our own particle, sorry, on our own article, if it is repeated, I feel even without knowing all these plagiarism, maybe I can call it as self-plagiarism. maybe some of my papers may all the self-plagiarism. Because during those days, we never know about what plagiarism, what self-plagiarism is like that. So few of my papers might have already had self-plagiarism, I think. But after learning it, supposed to follow. Right. Copyright Act, you may be knowing, similar to that of patent. I've got a copyright for my book. It gives you the right for nearly 25 years. That is your authority on that. If the people are even photocopying or copying the material or copying any photo of the book, then that is considered as violation of Copyright Act, which calls nearly 5,000 rupees as fine and then a couple of years as imprisonment. Right. Sorry, imprisonment of 6 months, and then fine may be extending from 50 to 50,000 to 2 lakhs. Is what the right related to Copyright Act 1957 says. Right. What is not ethics? When you are planning to publish it in scientific community, don't go press. Why we are going for the press? To create a hype, to have our, what to say, experiences showcase so that, because this is not scientifically peer reviewed, there may be errors. So with errors, don't go into the general press. Supervisors stealing the credit of the students. That is again not an ethics. You might have seen, even few people have reported, I have submitted this particular project to this agency. However, the same project was submitted by some other people, but we don't know what the truth is. Right. Plagiarized grant applications. The scientists had, for an example, if I'm going to review the project, after seeing that interest, I'll keep it aside, right? Later, I may write the project on this same title. Finally, I may get the funding. So this is called a plagiarized grant application. The scientists have reviewed. Then, in Australian scientists, they said one of the postdoc, they are leaking the result to the competitors or research material. These are all considered as not an ethics. Authors, what is the role of them? Who needs to be an author? Right. So whenever I, at this age and experience, whenever I'm given an author for a paper, my excitation stage is like this. This I have to accept. Till death, I think I may have this particular excitation, I think. Okay. What we do, mostly we think, when we are adding the name of the author who is experienced in the field, then acceptance of the journal paper will be easy. So this is against ethics. Even the author must not accept it. Mostly, the what to say, age-old academicians, they never accept. In my experience, whenever I have dealt with them, they said simply no. What is the thing you want to discuss? Yeah, let us discuss, but I don't want authority. This is what? Right. Authors on papers are expected to have materially contributed to the work. They are supposed to contribute to the work. Without that contribution, don't claim authority. If some people have worked on your paper, don't deny them the authors. Share the credit to authors. This is again an ethics. So don't take it as granted, just you know everything and go for publication. Take the view of co-author. What do they feel? Modification? Go ahead with that. There may be an error even with your methodology, experiments, everything. So consider the views of all co-authors, independent of their age, experience, etc. When you have taken a material from the source, don't forget to cite. So cite the references. Whenever you receive a funding, acknowledge them because without their fund, your work may not be materialized. So acknowledge. So finally, we are coming to the end of this. So before we go back, just recall what are all the things champion, then what are all the ethics we are supposed to follow. I think I'm not speaking with you people theoretically, but I felt I'm satisfied. I think you people might have satisfied with the presentation, own experiences in the journey towards my publications. So let us teach proper science for the younger generation. Just provide them the discipline in conducting scientific research. Then impact factor is concerned. Of course, we are having UGC index or something like, but this has to be rigorously worked because of the impact factor, many what to say, private journals are coming. So we need to avoid that. So we can think over on this at the national level. Right, my references were the photography, whatever you enjoyed in this particular presentation from yahoo.com. Yahoo photographs still have, so you can easily pick that. So my thanks due to Yahoo and in the references wherever I've had, and few of the things I've taken it from Wikipedia. Right. This looks dirt, but currently I'm working on this particular area which speaks about airborne, my own field, aerobiology, nanoparticles, the field where I have a specialization again, of medicinal plants, that is on herbal biotechnology. And of course, I'm pretty bioremediation, but in bioremediation, we had an excellent breakthrough. So no publication has been raised in that particular field. However, it was filed for a patent. So with that, my thanks are due to my mentor in publication, Dr. Altaf. Thank you, Professor. Without you, even this particular presentation will not be there because you are the one who made the path for me to travel in the publication field. My thanks are due to the patrons of Amet University, Dr. JP. Of course, we used to call him as JP instead of Jayaprakash Ved. More than 30 years of togetherness we have. I'm sharing with JP and Muthirilan. From the year 95 to till date, we are closely associated. My juniors, Dr. Silva and Mayakannan. Mayakannan, thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. You are the backbone of this particular program. Thanks for the opportunity you have given. Then all the listeners for your patient hearing. And then I'm now open if there is any question from you for everyone.
Dear Dr. Uday Prakash, it is not that we have invited you, but you are the gem. So you have fire in you, and this fire, it is like a wildfire now in the scientific world where you can have. I'm very, very proud, and it is heartening to a senior member. I always take my, you know that very well. My all of my students are my friends only, and I would say the kind of which we have inculcated or infused a kind of uh, research interest. I think uh, that is just a beginning. But unless capabilities, the kind of application, it is not possible to grow to this extent. I wish God give you good health and also many long years of your life. Still, I feel you have a long and something in our country. It is not. Uh, we are doing what exactly is opportunities available. There are quite a lot of opportunities, quite a lot of ambience for quality research and realistic contributions. And I think there is a lot for you to also in turn, the kind of attitude and the kind of or the approach you give. God is great. Everything will be good, and I think it is a program today we had. I must thank God, our Sendil sir, Mayakandan sir, and also Selakumar sir. More than all of us, Dr. JP, who is in developing this department to a very great extent. You are most welcome to our department anytime, and it will be our pleasure. And I have real appreciation for the kind of work and opportunity to learn it. I'm feeling very happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Sir, let me ask for a
Yes, Silva.
question. I very well know, sir, you are expert of this aerobiology and currently a lot of devices. I'm really eager to know how we capture this, the microbes. You are saying that you are having designed maybe a parody device. So you are capturing the microbes and you are analyzing them. How I need to know how much amount is captured or how much exactly. See, always we say that okay, 1 ml contains this, 1 ml this much, this population 10 power something. So we say that. So like then, how in an aero microbes, how it is whether you can calculate that, or it is possible that using the device with a nano sensor, it is possible, or anything like that can be developed.
Yes, Silva, it is possible. Already instruments are available. Even with I've imported plenty of instruments from US. So the biggest laboratory in aerobiology is concerned, Marina Labs is one of the biggest one in India. We can have a workshop, even hands-on workshop after this pandemic, so that students can also have an idea of what are all the types of samples we are using, how they can calculate, how they can give a quality and quantity-based report, even with all solar as well as outdoor environment. We can have a separate workshop for that. Even now, they need to think about the presence of mucor in hospitals, in ICUs, in all other areas, because mucormycosis is growing up plenty. Even in Tamil Nadu, we have reported more than 900 cases. So the right time is to look into the presence of mucor-related fungi in the atmosphere. But not yet worked with the COVID because I'm not a virology specialist. But if opportunity is provided, surely we can work on that. But still, I'm handicapped with virology is concerned.
Is there any possibility of like marine-oriented species like aeromicrobes? Any possibility? Like, is it
I did a preliminary investigation in mangrove. That is, you may be knowing, a web-oriented mangrove next to Chidambaram. In Pichavaram, we have conducted along with one of the participants right here, Dr. Kannan. The instrumentalist, Dr. Muthailan, I stayed in his room, and he was the man who took me to the mangrove. We enjoyed a lot staying with Muthailan over there, because as he did his doctorate from Annamala University, that is in Parangi area. So we stayed there, we enjoyed. Of course, a few people are working in marine, that is atmosphere related to marine environment, so that they can take the instrument maybe 1 meter away from the sea, on top of the sea or sea surface. They can look over. Surely if there is any opportunity, we can work with that particular area also.
if it is done, it is a breakthrough, sir. No, sir, because
Surely, in India, I feel it maybe. Surely, we can think over it. We will discuss later, because instruments are available. Even we have very good. You are having a specialty towards access in coastal and marine zone, and we have the instruments related with monitoring the airborne microbes. Surely, we can work on that.
regarding publications, actually nowadays, as you said about the plagiarism and about the collaboration with foreign reviewers or the foreign collaborators, it is very difficult to publish very high, I mean, good impact journals, in good impact journals. Um, Even recently, myself, personally, I also face the same thing. Though what I say, more than 95% contributed by me, but still giving the credit to some other person is it's a
Sure.
really pathetic condition. So because we need to, what is the thing is that we have to go for high impact channels. So if we directly approach and we directly if we submit it or if we go for other things, so it is quite difficult for us to, I mean, to get the outcome or to whether it is, I mean, rejected at the initial stages. But when we collaborate with some other, I mean, experts or some, it is easy way. It is really